Dubai, with its skyscrapers and extravagant shopping malls, is the picture of a city that defies imagination. Everything there is grandiose, luxurious, and meticulously designed to impress the world. But this glamorous city, which many see as the capital of the future, has a side that few know about, a hidden side where gold crumbles into dust and glamour gives way to a harsh and suffocating reality. That place is called Sonapur. For most visitors, it's just an unknown name, a spot off the tourist map. But for thousands of migrant workers, Sonapur is the very definition of survival. Today, Bello Mundo will take you to see this visceral contrast between two Dubais, one where luxury shines brightly and another where the struggle for the basics is constant. Dubai is located on the southeast coast of the Persian Gulf, right in the heart of the Arabian Desert. It holds a strategic position that easily connects it to the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and Africa. The city is part of the United Arab Emirates, a federation of 7 emirates, and Dubai is just one of them. That fact alone surprises many people, doesn't it? In addition to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates includes Abu Dhabi, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Al Quwain, and Ajman. And although Dubai is the most famous, the country's capital is actually Abu Dhabi, which bears the same name as its emirate. Dubai is an impressive city built in one of the most extreme climates on the planet. Surrounded by vast sand dunes and bathed by the Persian Gulf, it stands out for its contrasts. On one hand, a glittering skyline of skyscrapers and vibrant lights. On the other, endless stretches of desert sand. And although it all looks like sand and sun, Dubai surprises with its diversity of landscapes. This city, which today is synonymous with wealth and modernity, began quite differently. At the beginning of the 20th century, Dubai was just a simple fishing village. Its local port boosted maritime trade and pearl cultivation, turning Dubai into an important trading center in the Arab world. But the real boom came in 1966 with the discovery of oil in the Fateh field, about 120 kilometers east of the city. The wealth brought by oil was only the beginning. Dubai didn't sit back. Over time, the city diversified its economy, which today includes commerce, finance, services, tourism, and much more. The result of this effort is a city that no longer depends exclusively on oil and that reinvents itself every day. However, despite spending tons of money on transforming the city, these investments have often been directed towards visual changes, while structural issues have been left aside. A clear example of this, one that became world famous, is the queue of pit trucks once used to remove the sewage produced by the city. Although those images are old and much of the problem has already been solved, they reveal how the government preferred to build big buildings first, and only later think about the necessary infrastructure. Even today, though less frequently, Dubai still relies on the tanker system, as the city's sewage network is not expected to be fully completed until 2025. With its growth, Dubai has become a constant fixture in the world's top rankings. But the expansion has come at a cost. Many areas that were once fertile have been consumed by construction and infrastructure projects. To make matters worse, desertification has accelerated the reduction of agricultural land. In just 16 years between 2002 and 2018, Dubai lost 56%. More than half of Dubai's Arab land has been reduced, and this reduction happened at the same time as demand for food and other natural resources, such as water, was rising. Between 2004 and 2019, the city's population tripled, growing from 1 million to the current 3.3 million inhabitants. In short, a series of poorly planned decisions led to increased pressure on food production, forcing the country to rely on imports in an attempt to remain as self-sufficient as possible. As mentioned, Dubai's population today exceeds 3 million, and almost 90% of its residents are foreigners. It is a city of mixed cultures where Islam is the predominant religion and luxury is its trademark. Dubai is home to some of the world's greatest architectural icons, from the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on Earth, to the artificial palm-shaped islands. The city is a showcase of modernity and opulence. Tourism is one of its economic pillars, and every new construction seems to declare, "Welcome to the future." But beyond this glamorous facade lies the Dubai you won't find in tourist guides. You know the expression "from luxury to trash"? It makes perfect sense here. Imagine crossing an invisible line. On one side are five-star hotels, artificial beaches, and fine restaurants where tourists enjoy the sun. On the other is a place that feels like another universe, where glamour disappears and the struggle for survival takes over. That place is called Sonapur, an accommodation that looks more like a prison. This is where immigrant workers live, the same workers who build the Dubai of other people's dreams, yet inhabit a reality far removed from luxury. Instead of glittering skylines, Sonapur is a cluster of cramped shacks where everything is shared, the rooms, the food, and the weight of an exhausting daily routine. After all, for everything to shine, someone has to pay the price. To understand how this stark division came about, we need to go back in time. In the 1960s, Dubai was still a British protectorate, a modest fishing and trading village where camel herders crossed the desert. Life was simple until oil was discovered. The find transformed this village into one of the richest regions on the planet, attracting people from all over the world in a modern gold rush. Recruitment campaigns began, bringing in workers from other countries. Today, around 85% of Dubai's population is made up of foreigners from South Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and even America. This melting pot of cultures gives the impression that there is room for everyone, and in a way there is. But while some rise to the top, many are left at the bottom. In Sonapur, workers live in harsh conditions. The housing consists of unfinished shacks without doors or windows. In a city where summer temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius, ventilation is scarce and cooling systems are an unreachable luxury. Why then do people accept these conditions? The answer is complex. Many workers leave their home countries seeking better opportunities, hoping to support their families and pay for their children's education. But what awaits them is far from what they were promised. Recruitment companies in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Philippines lure them with offers of housing, food, transportation, and even medical insurance. In reality, these promises dissolve on arrival. When the workers land in Dubai, they often discover that their lives have been reduced to something resembling modern-day slavery. Their employers confiscate their passports and send them straight to Sonapur, isolating them from the outside world. Local laws provide little protection. Dubai may boast one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world, around 0.05%. But this hides a harsher reality. Workers who lose their jobs have only 30 days to find new employment, or they face deportation. For many, this means taking any job available, no matter how low-paying, just to survive. Caught in this cycle, workers live under countless restrictions, saving just enough to send small amounts home. Many still struggle to cover even their most basic needs. For example, a cleaner in Dubai earns about 800 dirhams a month, roughly $200. Out of this, more than half is sent to his family, leaving him barely enough to scrape by. It may seem like an acceptable salary when compared to the minimum in some countries, but we mustn't forget that the cost of living in Dubai is very high. To give you an idea, the rent for a small studio apartment, known locally as a one-piece apartment, varies between 1,500 and 4,000 dirhams. Can you imagine trying to live on such a tight salary in a place where everything is so expensive? The solution for most workers is, well, to share. On average, each worker shares a room with 5 others in order to save as much as possible and cover only the basics: food, clothing, and transportation. Their days are long and exhausting. Often the men who work in Sonapur don't even have the minimum conditions to maintain proper hygiene. The accommodation for migrant workers in Dubai, known as work camps or labor camps, often comes with precarious conditions. It is common for several workers to share small rooms, sometimes with 10 to 15 people squeezed into spaces of around 10 square meters. Sanitary facilities are communal, with toilets and showers shared by a large number of residents, often in a poor state of repair. In many cases, there are almost no showers available at all. The only solution is to use a bucket. The kitchens are communal, visibly dirty, and far below the quality standards seen in other countries. These cramped spaces, usually built by the workers themselves, are often unsafe. The most disturbing fact is that even the pipes and ventilation systems were installed by the workers without proper supervision from the responsible authorities. Although many of these accommodations have air conditioning, given the extreme heat of the region, maintenance is rarely adequate. This directly affects the workers' quality of life. In other words, the living conditions are almost inhumane, As a result, salaries that at first seemed like a promise of prosperity quickly prove insufficient, barely enough to survive, let alone send money home. The expectation of a better future turns into a daily struggle for survival. Many immigrants end up falling into debt, trapped in a cycle of poverty and exhaustion where the hope of a fresh start drifts further and further away. Can you understand now why they don't simply leave? How could they? With no passport, no money, and debts weighing them down, they are stuck. To make matters worse, many workers aren't even paid. It's common to see them holding signs, begging their employers to give them the wages owed so they can return home. And it is within this already bleak reality that even darker events unfold. Imagine spending years away from your family in a place where the distance is not just physical but deeply emotional. These workers arrive with dreams and energy, but over time, the promise of a better life in Dubai transforms into a crushing routine that consumes both body and spirit. They work endlessly, with no rest and no clear end to their journey, while the city's glittering wealth remains untouched in the distance. The exhaustion isn't just physical, the mental battle is brutal. Loneliness is constant, the emptiness immense. Many fall into apathy where every day feels the same, colorless, hopeless, meaningless. The glow of Dubai, once seen as a beacon of new beginnings, becomes instead a suffocating shadow. For some, the weight grows so unbearable that life itself loses its meaning. While they survive on the bare minimum, luxury in Dubai reaches unimaginable levels. Gold-plated cars, extravagant mansions, and products that look like they came straight from a fairy tale. And yes, this is possible in the United Arab Emirates. There is so much wealth that part of the population seems completely oblivious to the human cost that sustains this grandeur. So if you're thinking of visiting Dubai, here's a warning. The areas where these workers live are considered risk zones. You should avoid them, not only because of safety concerns, but also because entry is forbidden by the local authorities. The reasons are pretty obvious. The misery, abandonment, and harsh reality of these communities just do not match the city's luxurious image. From the outside, Dubai appears to be a modern paradise where everything seems possible. But this image is carefully constructed. The five-star hotels, award-winning restaurants, and exclusive events tell only part of the story. The truth is that behind the glitter lies a system that exploits the most vulnerable, turning workers into mere cogs in a machine that honestly never stops. While tourists return home with memories of an enchanting city, migrant workers are left carrying the burden of lives sacrificed for a dream that was never theirs. Sonapur stands as a silent, dark reminder that the luxury of a few is built on the sacrifices of many. But will this story ever become part of Dubai's narrative? Or will it just remain hidden in the shadows as the city continues to grow, concealing the faces of those who built it? Comment below with your thoughts on the reality of Dubai. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.